turn my phone off of your ghetto fucking Wi-Fi.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Hot and Bothered. I'm Cedar Champ.
I'm Chris Bruno.
You're disgusting.
That was really
You're
gross. That was
disgusting.
disgusting. That was foul.
And on this
That was
podcast, we
foul.
talk
I'm
about
so sorry.
everything that we find hot as fuck, which absolutely is not Chris Bruno
I need to
today.
go to cotillion. And everything that bothers the fuck out of us. The absolute shit out of us.
We have no fucking credentials, very minimal life experience. We're hardly ever sober. So if you take
I'm sober a lot of the time. I'm just not sober when we're recording an episode and I'm drinking a cocktail and I'm having fun.
Don't take any of our advice except for the advice that we gave last week, which was to go buy Smith's lip balm,
Oh, yes.
which isn't sponsored, by the way, but buy it.
Pause before we get into anything else. If we want to talk about sponsorships, I've had multiple people contact me. What chapstick do you use?
Shut up. You're
And
lying.
I don't give a fuck about
You're
that.
lying.
I pause on the Smiths. I am beyond obsessed with Honey Bunches of Oats. I swear the fuck to God, I have not been able to stop eating Honey Bunches of Oats. I have gone through 3 boxes in the past
Stunning.
week and a half.
How quickly did you finish a gallon of milk?
Was it 1 or 2 days? And bitch, that is vitamin D whole milk, and that will get the job done. And I'm not kidding. I have had
Wait.
the best bowel movements I have had in years drinking cereal with whole milk. On my life, hand to God, everything I own, I have never had better bowel movements. I'm burping and shitting on this episode already. I have had amazing bowel movements because I've been drinking whole milk. The amount of people that I think I've had half a dozen, probably no, like 8 people have been like, I'm getting Honey Bunches of Oats. They're like Snapchatting me Honey Bunches of Oats. Like, oh, should I get the vanilla ones? Like, oh my God, these are so good. I'm in a group chat with my best friends from home and we are obsessed with Honey Bunches of Oats. Anyway, I'm obsessed. Okay. Love you. Thank you so much, Honey
I
Bunches
also,
of
while
Oats.
we're here, just because we're here, not sponsored by Smith's Chopstick. We're not sponsored by Honey Bunches of Oats. And you know what else doesn't sponsor us? Whole milk. The whole milk industry does not sponsor us. But can I tell you how fucking horrifying and disgusting it is to open somebody's fridge only to discover that they purchased skim milk? Can you imagine in the year of 2024 with however fucking many milk options we have
Yeah.
and people are purchasing skim?
And for those of you who are unaware of what skim milk is, I was a barista for a short period of time
Does not
in my
everybody
life.
know what it is?
It's non-fat milk.
Yeah, but doesn't everybody know that?
No.
Okay.
Low fat is 2%. People don't know 2% equals low fat. Skim equals non-fat.
It's like disgusting. Like, okay,
It's
so
water.
obviously I was a farm kid and I grew up only drinking whole milk and like
You would like go suck on a goat's tit.
exactly. It's not a goat. That's goat milk. It comes from a cow. The more you know. But I always drank whole milk growing up. And then if we weren't drinking whole milk from the grocery store, it was because we were drinking. This is just, I can't.
Embarrassing.
Yeah. It was because we were drinking milk from a fucking cow.
Fresh milk
that
from a cow.
lives in our fucking yard. So like to discover as I was growing up, as I was coming of age, as I was going over to my friends' houses for sleepovers and shit, to discover that skim milk even existed and like was a thing in our universe was horrific.
That's just like all the like
Fun.
negatives of milk combined with like there's no positives to drinking skim milk.
No, there's nothing there, and it tastes horrible. It tastes absolutely fucking
I love whole milk.
disgusting. I love whole milk. No, I absolutely concur.
And I fucking love cereal. And let me tell you one more thing. I'm obsessed with cereal. My go-to munchies snack is cereal. It's so fucking good. It's
Munchies,
like refreshing.
like you're high? Or
Yeah, it's
like
like
okay.
I've been on my edible journey.
Stunning.
It's like refreshing, but like sweet, but crunchy, but salt. It's just fucking unreal.
I love cereal too. I
I'm
do really
obsessed
love
with
cereal. I feel like I don't eat it enough, but I feel like the phase you're going through with cereal is what I usually experience on a regular basis with Eggo waffles.
Mm.
Those are like my go-to.
Oh fuck, I
I
haven't had
have
those. Do you remember the little 4-piece Eggo
I
waffles that
hated
you?
those.
Fuck, those are
They were
so good. The
never
cinnamon
they're
ones.
never the same as like, oh, you know what, my
No,
my
those cinnamon
sisters and I,
4-piece ones are
did you guys
unreal.
have
My eyes are
Schwans?
rolling behind my head.
Did you guys have Schwans in your
I don't. Is that what
neighborhood?
is that? A store?
Oh my God. Okay. 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 So if you know, you know, Schwans. Okay. So Schwans is like a frozen food truck that drives around and they stop at your house and they're like, do you guys need anything? And you're like, no. But usually you're like, yeah.
That sounds like we should start
We should
that
be.
here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's like
It's like Trader Joe's on
Postmates.
wheels.
Fuck, we should
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. And so they used to have these French toast sticks, which were like apple cinnamon flavored and they're like battered French toast sticks. Oh my
Those
God.
sound really good right
And we used
now.
to buy these mint chip ice cream cones
Oh
from them
fuck, mint
too.
chip ice cream is something that I
Oh my
actually
God.
can't live without.
No, oh my God. Schwans. It maybe
So
it's a
like
Midwest thing.
Schwans, they like pull up in like a van and they're like, "Hey bitch, what do you need? Toaster strudel? What do you need?
Exactly.
Mint
And I
chip ice
remember because my
cream?"
parents always used to send my sisters and I out on a mission and they would be like, go help the Schwans man. And so when he'd pull up in our yard, we would go tell him what we need. And as he's unloading it from his truck, his like freezer on wheels, essentially, my sisters and I would run out there like little tiny children running out there with like our hands ready to receive. And then we run inside with like all these frozen goods and we're like helping him, you know, and we're like
That's
really
like
just annoying.
a beautiful, beautiful business model.
Also a
And I
beautiful.
feel like that would thrive in LA.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah. But we would have to make it like health food because we know how
No,
LA
but it would
people
be like
are.
spontaneous, like, oh shit, like what do I need? Schwann's is here.
Okay, we're starting a business. Hi, girls. On this episode, we talk about how we're business women and we're starting businesses
Hi,
every
welcome to Shark
day.
Tank. Like, we should do that.
Okay, no one cares about this except for us at this
No,
point. So
that's
we're moving past
whatever.
Schwans. Anyway,
Genius.
if you guys, okay, literally DM me, please, dear God, if you had Schwans in your neighborhood growing up, wherever you are from, please DM me and tell me because I am actually curious as to like, because obviously Chris is from
We grew up on
California.
opposite
I grew
ends
up
of the
in
world.
like the Schwans man. I don't think we had him in
The
Arizona, but
Schwann's man.
we had it. We had Schwans people in Minnesota. There was one specific driver. I loved him. I think he was like this little Asian guy. Anyway,
Your ex.
so if you had Schwans in your neighborhood growing up, please DM me and tell me where because I'm curious to know the demographics there.
Okay. If you have Schwann's, please call Cedar 818-323-7879. What else are we talking about today?
Are you hot or are you bothered this week?
Oh my goodness
Oh my
gracious. I
God,
feel like I'm on a
I'm putting you on
treadmill.
the
I feel like I'm
spot.
on like a little hamster wheel. We gotta go. I'm hot
Rapido,
this
rapido.
week. I'm hot this week because okay, I have two reasons that I'm hot. I'm so fucking deep in my antisocial era that I'm like I can't I'm so deep in my antisocial era because of the whole. Also, before we film this, we had a cheers to fucking February because January can go fuck itself. And bitch,
Absolutely.
let me talk about what is happening in February. We are working out.
Yes.
We're eating healthy.
Okay.
We are waking up when that alarm goes off at 6 a.m.
Yes.
We are doing a lot of things during the
We're
day.
living our
I mean, I'm
lives.
doing like things like for work.
You're like Cedar's not.
I'm like,
She doesn't
I'm
have a
like,
job.
shit is going. I'm like,
Yeah.
February is when the fucking year starts. And I told all of you,
You did.
and here we are. And this shit is hustling and bustling. And it is what it is.
Happy February,
Long story
babes.
short.
Chris is hot because it's Feb.
Well, three things, I guess. I'm hot because it's February. I'm hot because I'm antisocial. And I'm hot because I'm literally obsessed with LA.
And Honey Bunches of Oats.
And Honey Bunches of Oats. I had a couple brief little traveling experiences in January. And we've talked about this multiple times before where we come back to LA and we're just like, we hate living here. But then once we go somewhere else, we come back and we're like, fuck, this is like,
Thank God.
thank God that there's some $14 like water bottle within an arm's reach. went to my parents' house last week for one day, and I came back and I was like, holy fuck, I'm so happy to be back here.
You
I
were literally gone for 3 hours
literally,
and you
yes,
were like,
yeah.
LA,
And then I was having
baby.
a conversation with my barber today about, yes, I just got my hair cut.
The
Thank
fact that you
you.
have a barber,
I love
the
him.
fact
He's
that
from
and you
Belize.
call
I'm
him your barber and not
obsessed.
even like your hairstylist,
No,
like
he's
that
a
is so
barber. Like
mask of
I
you.
walk into the barber shop and I'm like, "What up?" Like I'm like, "I need a 2 on top and a fade, baby." I love him. He's going to Belize with his baby. Like his wife has a visa situation. I don't know.
Slay.
We love him. I don't know his name. I don't know his name. And he was like today he was like, "Leave me a Yelp review." And I was like, "I don't know your name."
I can't do
Because
that.
every time I called it, I'm like, "Hey, does they're like who?" And I'm like,
You're
and
like, I don't know the guy that I'm usually booked under. Can you not look that
I
up?
think his name
Like,
is Garrett, but he goes by Gar. And I'm like, that doesn't really roll off the tongue.
no, that's very challenging.
Long story short, every time I go into the barber shop, oh my God, I sound like I'm straight.
You
Like,
do. You're literally giving a straight
girls,
man energy.
every time I go into the barber shop, I'm either like, literally, I fall asleep in the chair, or I'm like, let's get it poppin'. Like, let's talk about it. Let's do it. Let's do everything. Let's talk about the whole fucking world. Today was one of those instances where I was like, I'm here to talk to you.
Chatty
I was like,
Cathy.
I need to speak to you.
Good thing we're recording today.
I also had okay, I'm like way too ADD right now talking about too many things.
No, wait, you?
I had like a Skype moment in the car with my like psychiatrist to get my Adderall refill before I walked in there.
Obviously necessary.
And I was just on one from talking to her, I guess. Okay, so me and him were talking about like New York versus LA because he used to live in New York. And I was like, there's really nowhere else appropriate for. He was like, you either live in LA or you live in New York, like if you have your head screwed on straight. And I was like, I get that, but also
You have
no.
your head screwed on straight.
Yeah. And I was like, I get that, but also not really. Cause there's like, I would live, if I had a boring job, I would live in like Scottsdale and be tan. You know what I mean? I
No,
would
you
like go buy
wouldn't.
a house somewhere. Like if I had a job that was remote, I would go live in like Dallas and be like a debutante. I would go live anywhere else.
You and your debutante
If
balls.
I had a job that I could work from home, I would be like I don't even know where I would live. Whatever. Anyway,
I
so
wouldn't. I do want a job where I can work from home, and I would want to work that job from home in Los Angeles. I wouldn't live anywhere else.
makes sense. I
Okay.
probably agree with you,
Can I
but
abbreviate?
Mhm.
Carry on.
So we were just talking about it, and I was like, people in New York are just too smart. They're just smart, and you have to be a certain type of person. Like people in LA are so retarded. Like you can't post that on anything social, but they're
Posting
people.
it everywhere.
No, people in LA are just so aloof that I was literally at the gas station before I came here, and I was getting water and gum, and there was a couple in there. I was like, is that literally Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson? They were picking up the most random items in this gas station.
Can you tell us how
they
they were dressed or
they
like
were
what they looked
picking
like?
up mochi. This was like a nice gas station. It was like
Okay.
across from Century City, that disgusting 76.
Oh
Um
yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's like mochi and like whatever. He was like, babe, this would be so sick in your music video, babe. Like, fuck. And I was like,
Get
what?
away
She
from
was
me.
wearing like the glasses that the girls wear. She had
Mm-hmm.
like a bag on that looked like that little Prada nylon stupid ghetto cheap one,
Yeah.
but it was backwards the whole time. And I was like, it's probably from. It doesn't even have a
It's
fake Prada thing on it. Like
it's not even from
yeah,
DH
like
Yeah.
it just looks like
She
the
picked that
back
up
of
at
it.
Zara.
Yeah, like it's not
Mm-hmm.
even the fake one.
Yeah.
And he was wearing like a black zip up. It was like zipped up all the way with weird sunglasses. He had like some hand tattoos. I don't know if she had fried blonde hair. I think I could have
Yeah.
just been imagining that, but that's she had like a Mary Jane creeper
Mm.
with like a yoga pant that was flared.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like,
I feel like I know these
and I was like,
people.
this
Like
is
I've met
just
these
such an
people before.
experience. I was like, this is so beautiful. I'm like, he was talking about her music video, and I was like,
Chris is like,
and I
nature is healing.
literally, I was like, they were talking about their music video. I paid $8.56 for water and gum, and I was like, this is fucking beautiful. I was like, this is culture. This is
This
amazing.
is
Like
America.
this is LA. I was like,
Yeah.
this is so beautiful.
Yeah.
But then I was also like, I was talking to you about this earlier, like I could just no one cares. But I was like, I could just not get on a subway
Yeah.
and go. I could not be like, oh, I'm gonna get ready and put on a nice outfit and like, make sure that I don't have anything attached to my face that I don't want attached to my face, and then
Hmm.
go get on a subway.
Yeah.
I could never in a million years go do that. I could never go get on a subway and like walk with the coat on and then figure out where to put my coat on when I got into a restaurant. I need to not do that. I need to be in a Range Rover. I need to be in a car driving somewhere and just not be
On a disgusting,
on a
sticky,
dirty
sweaty
subway. Like I need
subway.
to be like my mean of transportation needs to be it that's an experience.
Absolutely. And
But I
okay,
feel like you've become numb to it as a New York girly.
no. I
No.
I personally I feel like other people do, but I'm also autistic and I personally never did become numb to it. I was always very
And I feel like I would not ever. There's nothing better than sitting in your car.
no, and I've said that and that's a huge reason why I moved to
Yeah.
LA is because the commute from to and from work or wherever the fuck you're going and like being in the privacy of your own vehicle, being able to sing to your music, being able to do whatever you want to fucking do in your car by yourself and not being on a packed train car with a bunch of fucking strangers and like
Like with
some
your
weird
headphones and
fucking
like
homeless
scooting
person like
over, like I don't know where
jerking
to
off in the
sit.
corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like no, it's too much.
If
It's
you live in
very
New York, we love you and
overstimulating.
support you and we admire
Your
your
bravery.
yeah, but
Like
like
the fact that
I
you
would rather
have
be
enough social stamina to be able to get on a train
that's
with
a lot of
many other
energy. That's a
people,
lot
it
of
sucks.
energy.
It absolutely sucks the energy out of you. But there are people who are like, it's not even a thought that has
Yeah,
ever
like it
crossed their
doesn't
mind. It
phase
does not
them.
phase them. And I'm like, I'm not that strong. I'm not that
No,
strong.
I
I need
could
to be
never do
in the
that.
privacy of my
But
vehicle.
like no matter I feel like no matter how luxurious I would be living in New York, like I could be in a $15,000 apartment on the Upper East Side if I didn't have like if I couldn't like walk outside or like walk into a garage and like get into my car and go drive somewhere and like circle the block 6 times for a parking spot.
Yeah.
Like that wouldn't be something that I would want to do.
No, it's not something that
I
I
don't
want to
like
do
I don't want
either.
to
And that's why
walk.
I
I don't
live
want to
here.
walk. Like when people are walking in LA, this is actually something interesting. When people are walking in LA, I live in a 3 block radius of
Everything.
everything and anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would be so embarrassed if someone saw me walking with like a grocery bag. I would be terrible. Like if I'm walking and I'm like not on the phone, like I'm so paranoid and self conscious about being seen walking somewhere. I don't know why or what it is because I feel like I see people all the time and they don't see me. And I don't ever fucking want to be the person that is seen. I've been talking for 20 minutes. I don't ever want to be seen without someone being like, I don't want someone to see me and I don't see them. That makes
Yeah.
me like, what the fuck am I doing? Because I see that 4 or 5 times a day. Like, I'm like, oh my God, there's this person, there's that person. And I'm like,
I am so far the opposite.
ugh,
And I am actually a walker, but my problem is like I need to be prepared to be walking. And so like I live in the
you're like, I need
neighborhood.
my hokas.
Exactly. I live in the neighborhood that I live in because I liked that I could walk anywhere that I need to, like anywhere that is absolutely necessary. Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, I have a Ralph's, I have a CVS, I have a smoke shop,
Target.
I have a Target. I
You have
have
pizza, you have coffee.
everything I need. Like literally coffee is below me. Everything I need is within once again a 3 block radius. And I love to walk and that's why I moved to this neighborhood. And I'm so far the opposite where I do not ever perceive other people. And like people could drive past me and see me and be honking at me. And I do not even acknowledge that that is something
Oh,
that's
I'm way
happening.
too fucking hyper aware
And
for
like,
any of that.
I'm so. I'm so in my own fucking head and I'm so goddamn self absorbed that I'm like, if you see me and I don't see you, carry on your merry way, babe. I'm just doing me. I'm living my
No,
life.
if I'm walking like to go get a coffee from like my office, I'm like,
Oh God, I hope no one sees
I'm
me.
like, no one can see me. God forbid.
You're like,
I'm
get the
like,
paparazzi out of
God
here
forbid. I'm like bringing someone else a coffee, and I'm walking
with
through
2
Beverly
coffees.
Hills, walking down Beverly Drive, holding 2 coffees. I'm
No,
like,
no, that
pour,
is no,
pour,
that's a
pour.
thing. Like, no, that is a thing. The embarrassment of not only like walking with your own coffee is hot and it's chic and it's
Yeah.
cute. Walking with multiple coffees, whether it's 2 coffees or more, to deliver, you're clearly delivering coffee
Like
to
I look
another
like I'm like,
individual.
yeah,
You're somebody's fucking bitch. You are
yeah,
somebody's assistant.
yeah,
You're an employee. You're getting paid
yeah.
$8 an hour. Like that is not a vibe at all. That's the most embarrassing thing
Like I
anyone
feel
can
like
do.
what's her name, Andrea from fucking Devil Wears Prada. If I'm like holding a coffee,
Literally.
like someone else's
No,
coffee.
literally. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm just somebody's bitch.
And I'm typically I'm on the phone a lot. Whether I'm talking to someone about nonsense or dealing with something for work. And like if I'm not on the phone and I'm in public, like I sound like an iPad baby.
You are.
I'm like, am I an iPad baby?
Yeah.
I'm like, even if I go shopping like alone, I'm like, someone's gonna like see me shopping, and I'm gonna be like,
Really?
yeah, I'm like, is that
I'm like,
social
if you,
anxiety?
no,
Like,
maybe
what level of
I
anxiety is
have
that? Like,
social anxiety, but I'm also so
I don't
obsessed with
have,
myself where I'm like, if you see me and I don't see you, it's because I'm hotter than you and I'm not paying attention to you.
I don't have social anxiety. Like, I can walk into a party and be
What's up, bitch?
like, let's all take a shot. Like, this is
Yeah.
actually my party.
You are
But
kind
if
of the
I'm in
life of the
public
party.
alone, I'm like, I would rather be dead. Like, I need a hijab
Yeah.
or something because I
Yeah.
don't want people to know.
Cover me up.
Is that the right
Hide me
terminology?
away. Don't know.
Um, yeah, like no. Anyway, I'm hot because I'm obsessed with Honey Bunches of Oats and I don't want to be seen in public. What is going on with you this week?
Ask me the question.
Are you hot or are you bothered this week?
Let me take a sip of my drink first.
Okay, me too. They're not sweat stains on my sweater that I wear every day. It's just the oxidation? Condensation of the cocktail. Okay.
Okay. You ready, Freddie?
Are you hot or are you bothered?
I'm bothered this week.
Shocking.
Yeah, no one's surprised. I'm actually like overall in like a general sense, I am really hot, but when it comes to this topic, I am a little bit bothered just because it's actually something I've carried very heavy on my heart and mind for many years. And I'm here to share my experience with you today. I've had a really hot week. I'm on a dating spree. I think I talked about that last episode. I'm having the best time. I've met a few really fun characters.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah, it's been fun, and I'm actually in love with almost every single person I've met so far, which is one.
You know why this is happening?
What?
Because it's not fucking January
Because it's not
anymore.
January.
Exactly.
Because it's not January's over. No, anyway, so just to get to the fucking point, because God, I could literally jabber
Cut to the
on
chase,
forever.
bitch.
I'm bothered this week because there is nothing more horrifying on the face of this earth. You could not write a scarier novel. You couldn't write a scarier
Telenovela.
movie. Exactly. Like this shit you cannot even find in horror films. There's nothing scarier than when you're dating a guy and you're like kind of into him or really into him, God forbid. And he pulls out his phone to show you his favorite YouTube video that he finds to be the funniest thing on the face of this earth.
I feel like we can scale that back. Like even like a TikTok that he's like laughing at or
Or
something.
an Instagram reel.
Yeah.
Usually it's YouTube because men do use YouTube a lot, which is so weird to me. We've talked about this before. YouTube is like weird, but men love YouTube. And sorry, I just short circuited. There's just absolutely nothing worse than when a man tries to show you something on the internet that he finds absolutely fucking comical and you're sitting there in horror as you like try to do your best. Who's it? Nicole Kidman. You try to do your best Nicole Kidman and like fake a laugh and just put on the best show of your life. Like, that is the funniest thing you've ever fucking seen. And in the back of your head, you're like, if this video goes on for one more second, you will
Blow
literally
your
find
brains
me
out.
hanging from the ceiling fan. There's nothing worse than the discovery of the fact that your sense of internet humor is not the same as the guy that you're dating, and he's actually dumb because his sense of internet humor is so fucking stupid that you would rather chop off your own fucking arms than ever watch another
I have a
video he thinks is
question,
funny. Okay, go ahead.
ma'am.
Questions from the gallery.
I feel like as a gay man, everyone loves a little bit of like controversial controversy between us,
Okay,
whatever.
slay, whatever.
I feel like sometimes I find that interesting in gay men. I feel like sometimes when you, for example, Real Housewives, when you kind of like hone in on a certain thing that you guys have in common, it's like reiterated over and over again. And I'm like, okay, can we talk about something else? Like, we don't need to keep making jokes about Leanne
Yeah.
Locken. Like, we don't need to keep making the same jokes about the same thing, or like keep turning conversations into this. I'm like, there are other things in the spectrum of shit that we can talk about.
Yeah.
But that's
They
just
like
something that I've
hyper
experienced.
fixate.
But I've also experienced the opposite, where I was like, what is that anime tattoo? And he was like, oh, it's actually Star Trek. And I was like, those are both the wrong answers.
You're
And
like, that's the same thing
I
in
was
my
like, I don't
dictionary.
know anime. I've never seen Star Trek or Star Wars or whatever the fuck those other ones are.
Yeah.
Not happening. No. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. Common people's interests and things need to align.
Haven't you ever had like this specific, I feel like everyone has had this specific situation happen in their lifetime where you have been sitting with somebody and they're like, "Oh my God, you've never seen that." And they pull out their phone and they pull up a video and they're showing you this video and they're laughing hysterically even though they've seen this video 157 times.
That's happened
I'm
to
not
me.
finished.
That's happened to me before, and I feel like it's you have to be like a socially unaware person to do that.
But then they're like, not only are they showing you this video and making you sit through it and like fake laugh through it, but they're also regularly looking over
Okay, that's
at
weird.
you,
I've never
like
had
to
that.
make sure that you are enjoying it and you think it's funny. And like, if
That's
you,
like because you're dating people who are 50.
no, no, I've had this experience before, like my entire dating career. I once upon a time did date men that were age appropriate. And I would argue it's even worse with younger people, truthfully.
What are they showing you?
Like, I don't even know. I blocked a lot of it out of my memory. Like, you've been in that situation before?
I have, but I don't like care about anything. So people show me stuff and I'm like,
You're like,
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
No, it's just like, no.
I feel like mine is more so like in conversation, but
I also feel like, specifically, not to target straight men once again, but obviously I have to, but I just feel like straight men obviously, like, they're dumb and their sense of humor obviously has to be dumb as well because they are fucking dumb. It's like when men are like, "Oh, like that bitch's nipples are hard." And then they all laugh cuz he, like, first of all called a bitch out for having her nipples hard and then also called her a bitch. And like men think like a man saying something like that is funny. It's the same vibe as like these dumb little video internet clips that they're finding and
I
then
don't know
forcing you
enough
to sit
straight
and watch.
men
Like,
to relate to this,
it's
quite frankly.
it's honestly very like 1960s misogynistic sense of humor vibes, kind of, where it's just the dumbest thing, but like men laugh at it because other men laugh at it kind of vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so the point being, I feel like most of us girls have probably been in a scenario where we've been sitting there while a man holds his phone out that has YouTube on like full screen, like tilted sideways, the whole
And he's
nine.
like, "Are you laughing, babe? Babe,
And
are you
he's like, "Oh
laughing?"
my God, isn't this so
And
funny?"
you're
And
like,
you're
"I don't know
like,
what I'm watching. Like, is this like The Wizard of Oz or is this like someone's YouTube tutorial?
exactly.
Like,
And
what am
also,
I
like, the thing
watching?"
is I'm not an actress.
No.
And like I can
That's
fake laugh.
I
I can fake laugh at something, but
Yeah.
not that well. And if you're so fucking socially unaware that you can't tell that, like, that's not the funniest video I've ever seen in my life, and yet you continue to, like, force me to sit through the entirety of
Do you
it.
ever have the realization midway through? For me, I don't pay attention to anything or know what's going on with anything in the world. So usually what I'll do is at first I'll pretend like I know what they're talking about to like not make myself look
Dumb.
extremely like I don't even want to say
Out of
sheltered,
touch.
but just yeah, out of touch. And then halfway through it, I'm like, oh, I actually have no idea what I'm watching or what this is. And then it's even more like heartbreaking to them than
Yeah.
if I were to just be like, no,
If
because
you were
I'm
to
like,
just flat out,
huh.
like, be honest from the get.
But I'm like, maybe I do know because I'm like, let's see. And maybe
Because
it'll
you're
like
like,
jog
I
something.
don't always actually know, but sometimes you do know a little bit.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then it's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Or you think you're on the same page with something and then it's completely different. And it's
Absolutely.
Star Trek versus Star Wars versus anime. And
Anime. Who even knows the difference? I remember once upon a time I saw this tweet that I thought was so fucking hilarious, and I can't recite it word for word right now, but essentially the gist was like, don't fucking ask me if I've ever seen Star Wars. Like, I'm way too hot for that. And I thought it was so fucking funny, and I retweeted it. And like one of my like actually good friends, and I love him, but like he reached out to me and he was like, that was kind of fucked up and like offensive. And I was like, you know what? I get it, but also like,
I don't.
I don't, because guess
And I
what?
have
I've never
nothing
seen
against it
fucking
because,
Star
like, if
Wars.
I feel like, I don't know, like, my parents weren't like,
They didn't force you to watch fucking Star Trek.
no, but like, my parents were like, I feel like when we're children, I don't know. I feel like with Star Wars, delete all
It's a
that.
matter of like what you were exposed to and like what you're
Yeah,
surrounded by and like how you're
it's
influenced by your family and your
that's like
parents
nature no
versus,
nurture
yes,
versus nature. Like
yeah,
sci-fi shit like that to me is very like
uninteresting. I'm not going out of my way to watch that shit on the TV.
I'm like that's fake. Like none of that is real.
Yeah.
Like none of that is real. I don't want to
Yeah.
watch like a fake spaceship with like this bitch with her fucking pigtails tied behind her fucking ears. I'm like, no, I don't care. I don't care.
I actually just don't
Like I
fucking
don't know
care.
what's going on. Like show me something else. Like I like will watch something else. Like I will watch like a history documentary. Sure, that is interesting to me. I will learn something, but I don't want to like those movies are also like 4 hours long. Like literally 4 hours long. Who has time for that?
Not us,
My teacher
bitch.
in fifth grade like used to make us watch those, and I'd be like, "Mom, I'm calling out sick today because we're watching Star Wars." And she's like, "Okay."
Yeah, like that's educational as fuck.
No, like
Like totally worth
I'm like we
the
have a
class
minimum
time.
day, and I'm not watching Star Wars from 7 a.m. till 11 a.m. Like, bitch, fuck no.
Absolutely the fuck not.
No, baby, I
No.
am sick
I'm
as a
sorry. You
dog.
couldn't pay me enough. I
No,
just like, and what's the one with like the weird little creatures that everybody
I
watched?
don't know.
The blue ones with the eyes. They're like the,
Finding Nemo, I don't know. What the fuck are you talking about? The blue ones with the eyes?
yeah, they're like little aliens. And they've got
Minions?
the face painting. Somebody who's gonna listen. Somebody's listening to this screaming in their
Blue with
car right
face
now.
painting.
Somebody's screaming in their car right now. The name of the fucking movie. It's one of those fucking weird sci-fi
Star
movies,
Trek,
but
Star Wars. What is it? I also
I
thought
don't
that was
know.
the same shit up until like 2 years
You thought
ago.
that those were the same thing? Star Trek and Star Wars?
And sometimes like I'm like even like this has happened where they like make a reference to like the main people on those things and I'm like and then they're like you've never seen that before and I'm like
Yeah, like the weird,
no,
like the weird characters and like the little creatures and like,
like the guy in the Pope robe, what's the main guy's name?
yeah.
What's his
I don't
name?
know. I don't know, bitch. I've never seen it.
Whatever.
I need to know what the name of that fucking movie is with the blue people, the blue little alien creatures, and
I'm
they
thinking of like
Avatar. Oh
oh
my god, Avatar. Your
never seen
face,
that but
your
I'm like
face.
does that classify as anime?
No, that's sci-fi.
Whatever, but that's like
Whatever.
Pixar
But like
vibes.
whatever. Like we literally don't care. Like that is not of interest to me. That's just not interesting to me. I won't be watching it. You can't fucking
Avatar.
pay me enough to watch it. I'm not doing it.
I've never seen any of that
No. Anyway, that's why I'm bothered this week.
because you don't jerk off to Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's just differences that, you're going to have to put aside.
I could date somebody that's into anime as long as they don't try to force it on me, because I feel like a lot of people that like
I
anime
couldn't
are
do
like,
that. Like, I don't know what that is. Anime to me is like, I don't know what that
my
is.
first introduction to anime before I knew what anime was like being a kid and like sitting in my basement on YouTube on like the little desktop computer that we had, and like watching anime porn. That was that was the first introduction I had to
Okay, so
anime.
I had a really like actual vivid visual of what you just said, and then when you said porn, I was like, "Oh God, she's out of her mind." But
I didn't
I
know that. I thought
I thought
anime was
anime was
strictly
like,
porn up until I was probably like 18, and then I realized anime is like actually a
okay, I
thing.
want to talk to you guys about something that's near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
The amount of guys that will like message me on Grinder and then they'll be like, "Oh, I'm just watching some anime," and I'm like,
Bitch, what?
"Is that a cartoon? Like, what is that?
What is that
What does that
classified? Because
mean?"
like, okay, it's like if you say
Like, I swear to God, it's like once a day.
I'm watching a movie, and then you're like, okay, what movie? Then they tell you what movie, and then you like no. But like
But
if
I'm
you
like,
say
is
you're just if
anime
you
like
say
a
you're
cult? Is it
watching
like a culty? Like I don't know what is anime. Is
what
that
is
like
anime?
is that like a division of a motion picture, like a category of a movie? Is it a category of?
Are you watching it?
Is it like a genre? Is it like a
Is it an
romance
episode?
anime?
Are
Like
you
what
watching
is
it? Is it a
anime?
movie? Is it a short video? Is it like a YouTube short?
To me, it's like pow pow. Like it's like a comic. It's like a
Yeah,
live
Chris is
comic
thinking of
book.
literally
A
comics.
live comic book with
Yeah.
like the Asian drawings with like the like blush.
I think that's what is that not what it is?
I don't know, like it's Hello Kitty anime. I don't know,
We
like, and
don't
it's like
know. And you
something.
want to know what? Guess what? It's 2024 and we don't care. We don't care.
What the fuck is
I
anime?
will be wrong about Star Trek, Star Wars, Avatar, anime. I will be wrong about all of those things
Until I
for
die.
the entirety of my life, and I will never fucking care. I will never fucking care. Can you imagine us in 20 years?
If
We're
I had a kid that
parents.
liked anime, I'd be like,
Yes,
"That's bad."
exactly.
I would be like, "No,
You're sending him to conversion
no." I would be
therapy.
like, "No, no, 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 no. That's for weird people.
That's bad, sweetie. We don't do that in this house.
Like that is for weird. The fucking people on YouTube are gonna annihilate us. They are gonna annihilate us."
As if they don't already.
No, but like I
They
don't know
hate
what
us.
anime is. They're gonna be like, "You're privileged." I'm like, I'm not privileged. I just don't have an interest in fucking Asian porn. Delete, 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 rewind. Like, I don't know what anime is. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, me either, babes. Me either.
You have to delete that.
That was so fucking funny. I'm never deleting that.
Patreon, find us on Patreon. There's gonna be a lot of good clips.
Yeah, so anyway, Slay, that's what's going on with us this week. Do we have any last?
No, but if I had a kid that like was into that kind of stuff and was like, I want to watch Star Wars, I would be like,
You're like, do they
no, I
offer
would be
late term
open to it.
abortions?
I would be open to it.
I wouldn't, but I also wouldn't have a kid, so it's like not a problem. I'm like
My
accepting
child
that
would
I'll face.
never want to watch that kind of shit.
No. Can I tell you something a hot man said to me? Can I tell you something a man said to me that was hot? God
Was
forbid.
he hot or was he not hot?
He was hot, but that wasn't what I was trying to say. He was hot, but that's beside the point. It was a hot thing he said. And it would have been hot even if it came from a man that wasn't hot.
Okay, continue.
But I was on a date and the topic of conversation of kids came up, and God, we all know about the battles I've faced with the men and trying to persuade me to want to have children, which is weird and disgusting. And so I was on a date with this guy and I asked him like, "Oh, are you like gonna have kids someday?" And he was like, "I don't fucking know." He was like, "Maybe, but also probably not, because I really fucking like the way that my life is now and I don't really want a kid to fuck that up." And I was like, hot. That's hot. I can be hot about that. Imagine like you having that not you. Obviously, you're never gonna
I'm
be
like,
able to. But like,
imagine even being like, I love my life so much that I don't need a kid. I'm like, imagine getting to step
could
one.
never be
Yeah, no,
us.
I'm like, imagine to
Could
getting to step
never
one
be
of being
us.
like, I really like how things are right
Well,
now. Like,
we should also
okay.
acknowledge the fact that this man does take Zoloft. So like,
What's
should we take
Zoloft? What is
Zoloft?
Zoloft?
Depression medication, babe.
We don't have to talk about it, but like country music artists fall under the same category as Star Trek people and anime. I'm like, I don't know, they're all the same to me.
And I, as somebody who listens to country music and likes country music, I don't blame you for feeling that way.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I like country music is because it's the only thing I
I
was
actually
allowed.
like country music.
It's the only thing I was allowed to listen to when I was a kid. My parents wouldn't let me listen to like rap music or like hip hop or anything because we're little Catholics and like, ugh. And I love country music, but I also understand why people don't like it. And I'm like, okay, I get it
I
for
used to think
sure.
that I don't like country music, but like I don't have anything against country music. I'm just not really ever in the mood for country music.
And the only time
Unless I have like a
nowadays,
big cold cup of beer and I'm in a flannel.
like a red solo cup.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the only time I really like country music is when I'm going. I love it. I love it, but I never go out of my way to listen to it unless I'm going home to visit or unless I'm going to visit my family.
Mm-hmm.
And
And you
then I'm
kind of gotta
like,
like get in the
blast up
mood.
the country music, babe. I'm
Mm-hmm.
all over it, but I don't usually go out of my way to listen to it. Like, it's not natural to be traipsing around Manhattan listening to fucking country music in your AirPods. That would be a weird thing to do.
That's kind of chic.
Maybe a little bit,
It's
yeah.
like mysterious.
Maybe, yeah. But I feel the same way like driving around in LA. Like I probably wouldn't be playing country music through the
What kind of
speakers of
music
my
have you been
car.
listening to lately?
I've been listening to like a lot. I don't even know. I've been listening to like a lot of Dominic Fike.
Who's Dominic Fike?
Let's end this episode.
Who's Dominic Fike?
Are you?
Who's that?
I'll show you later. What have you been fucking listening to?
I've been getting my Super Bowl prep on and I've been listening to a lot of Usher.
Weird.
Why?
That's so random, I feel like.
He's like gonna be performing at the Super
Has he
Bowl.
come out with any songs in the last 12
No,
years?
but I'm like listening to Confessions Part 2.
Slay.
I'm listening to like all that shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
honey,
Yeah.
it's fucking bangers.
I've been listening to some cute little like I've had the little indie moment. I've been listening to like maybe some like alternative music. I've been
Me too.
venturing out a little bit.
I have like, we'll talk about this later.
Okay, Sly, let's shut it down.
Hi, fat whores. I know that all these stupid little things that I do, you always keep in, and I'm like, I don't like when I say things like that.
I love it when you say things like that.
Okay, guys. So this week we're gonna buy one box of Honey Bunches of Oats and
No,
one
you're gonna
half
buy
gallon.
you're gonna buy
I'm
6
going to
boxes
Costco at
of
some
Honey
point
Bunches
this
of Oats,
weekend.
and you're getting 3 gallons of milk, and you're gonna consume it all within the span of 7 days, and you're gonna go watch your anime porn and jerk off to that. What else were they
What
doing?
did I talk about today?
I don't even know.
Oh, living in LA. You're gonna
Move to LA and listen to your country music in your car.
mhm.
Or move to Manhattan and listen to your country music on the subway.
Mhm.
Get it on, baby. What was that weird
We're gonna
advice I
get
gave
in
them a
so
few
much
minutes ago?
trouble. We're gonna get in so
With
much
the anime
trouble.
gang.
We're gonna get in trouble with anime. We're gonna get in trouble with Star Trek. We're gonna get in trouble with Star Wars.
We're
I'm
getting
gonna get in trouble with
sued.
talking shit about people who ride the subway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get like we're not even privileged because
We
honestly
just
we're not
don't
privileged.
care.
We're
just
not
don't
privileged.
care. We are a
I
little bit.
wasn't
I will
born with the
acknowledge my
silver
privilege.
spoon in my mouth.
We were.
Why are you privileged? Because you're white
I'm
and
white.
you're a girl.
I'm white and I have been comfortable in my life. I have not faced a lot of severe hardships. I had my college paid for. I don't have
Me
student
too.
loans.
Me too.
We're privileged. Let's be fucking honest.
Okay, so let's delete all of that.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, thanks for coming along with us
Everyone
this
has a
week.
different definition
That was
of
gay. I don't ever
privileged.
want to fucking say that. Thanks for coming along with us this week. That's
Okay, welcome back to
disgusting.
fucking Barney.
I was literally gonna say Barney. Oh my god, that's horrifying. Okay.
Okay, so everyone's gonna just take a fat dump on us for being inappropriate. And
Can you stop caring about that? Like, grow
no,
up.
I'm just thinking about it. I don't care, but I'm
You
like
don't. Like, get over it. Like, we don't care. Let's keep it moving.
I know, but I'm thinking about I'm thinking
Stop
about
thinking about it. Don't think about
it.
it.
No.
Okay.
But hold on.
Jesus.
Let's analyze it.
Analyze what? We don't have the time.
Okay, guys, thanks for coming in this week. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for
Blah,
coming
blah,
in and
blah,
on.
blah, blah,
Thanks
blah.
for coming around. Thanks for just coming this week. Come this week. Everybody should come this week. That's your mission.
I'm asexual. I haven't
While
been able
watching
to do
anime
anything
porn.
like that lately.
Okay, stop fucking
You know
speaking.
what else
Dear
I want to
Chris,
talk about
stop
this week?
fucking
You know what else I
talking.
want to talk about this week?
Stop fucking
I
talking.
have, you know how I am. I'm like, baby, we have an open door policy at my apartment. I'm not going to disclose the address yet, but I have an open door policy. I'm like, I will let anyone come over, but I will not go to anyone's house. Not only have I not gone to anyone's house, but the thought of having somebody over to have an interaction.
Chris and I, actually, this is important and should be addressed. Chris and I have
Can I
fully.
finish my thought?
We've done a
Can I
Freaky
finish
Friday
my thought?
moment. Okay.
Can I finish my thought? This is Cedar. Can I finish my thought?
Hurry up.
The thought of having someone come over to my apartment, probably because I've been living like a morbidly obese 80-year-old hoarder.
Herman.
That too. But I'm like, having someone come and like intrude on my space. Who does that? Who lets a stranger in their apartment to use them for sex? I'm like, who does that? I did it last night for literally 15 minutes, but I'm like, who does that? I could never imagine letting someone, I mean, I kind of knew this guy, but who, I could not. It's a sacred spot. Delete all of that.
Chris and I are having a Freaky Friday moment in terms of our dating conditions because I fully have, like, I went on one date with this guy and I've asked him to move into my apartment. He stayed the night with me last night and, like, he tried to go home tonight and I was like, you're not fucking going anywhere. You live here now. Like, you're not leaving. I've never, ever, 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 ever in my life wanted a man to stay the night in my apartment, let alone essentially begged him to not leave after night one in my apartment. And here Chris is having the realization that having strangers over and having strange men in your bed is like crazy. And here I am trying to invite every strange man I can find into my bed. We are fully Freaky Fridaying this shit. Like, what is February? What is happening? Freaky fucking Friday in fucking February. I don't understand what's happening. I don't. That's all I have to say.
Buy a box of Honey Bunches of Oats. Watch
And
anime.
now you want to fucking shut it down. Okay. Bye.
Follow us on Patreon at Hot and Bothered the Pod.
Okay, anyway, I'm literally about to fire Chris. I love you guys so much.
What's going on?
Thanks for fucking
I'm
hanging
seeing
out.
stars.
Come to your anime porn. I'm going away now. I'm gonna rest in peace. Goodbye. Love you.